If you've never encountered the collector before, it'll feel as if you've hit the jackpot. Once you do, you found a secret mini-boss that'll reward you with valuable items once defeated. But how do you actually defeat him really easily? Well, let's talk about that. Hi, I'm Epokk from Minigame Guides, and this is my guide for the collector. Now the first thing you may ask is, why is he appearing for me right now? Now basically the collector has an extremely small chance of appearing whenever your inventory is more than 65% filled. If it's below that, he will never spawn. But once he has spawned, he can do one of 3 attacks. Now basically he will always start the fight with a collect call, where he summons up 3 random heads of your fallen characters. Now at least that's the lore, the description of the attack, because he can summon one of 3 classes, and he summoned them even when I hadn't lost someone of that class just yet. Either way, there are 3 different heads he will summon: a Vestal, a Man-at-Arms, and a Highwayman. The Vestal is actually the weakest one because her heals tend to be lower than the damage you typically are inflicting to the enemies. Now, even though she is technically prolonging the fight, I would ignore her because her being there prevents the boss to summon one of the other types of heads. Now the Man-of-Arms is the defensive head that the collector will summon. He will mainly be guarding his friends and taking the damage you are inflicting, but reduced quite a bit because of his protection. The easiest way to get rid of his guarding capabilities is by simply stunning him if you have a hero that can do this. The third head of the Highwayman is undoubtedly the most dangerous head of the 3, since it can deal quite a lot of damage and it's relatively fast. But if you manage to kill him, the collector loses a lot of his damage potential, so I would always prioritize this head before returning to damaging the boss. Now the other 2 attacks that the collector can do are the following. Show Collection. Now with this skill, the boss will show you his collection of heads, dealing stress damage to your front rank and pitiful damage. Now it can easily make your hero stress enough to make them take a resolve test, so if you brought a stress healer, it's time to put him to work. And his last ability is Lifesteal, where he will basically stare you to death, dealing damage to your front rank with a chance of inflicting bleed and giving him a heal for that attack. Now in a normal guide, I would talk now about the ideal team setup for this boss, but you don't always know when he will show up, so let's just talk rather about priorities. When the collector first shows up, he will be alone as he still needs to summon the boss. This is a great moment to stun him, that way you can nuke him for 2 turns before he brings his friends. When he does summon the heads, I advise to ignore the Vestal, stun the Man-at-Arms to prevent him from guarding his friends, and kill the Highwayman as quickly as possible to reduce the incoming damage. Once the Highwayman is dealt with, focus on burning down the boss. If you have a hero that can inflict bleed or blind dots, be sure to do that. That way him healing himself with his lifesteal ability becomes a lot less viable. Now after you defeat him, he may drop one of 3 special trinkets, either the head of Dismas, Paristan, or Junia. These can only be obtained from him and are quite rare for that reason. He may also drop a puzzling whatever this thing is, I have no clue how to pronounce that, but whatever it is, it's worth 3,500 gold. Now if you want any more guides for the Darkest Dungeon, check out this playlist where I run through everything you need to survive and thrive in the Darkest Dungeon. I want to thank you for watching, wish you good luck, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya!